Okay, time for the finals. We won the die roll once again. Pretty good. Okay, let's see. I mean, I think that hand is good enough to keep. We have mana to cast both souls. We have a Scry 1 with the fetch land. All colors. I guess we keep. It's not a hand I'm super excited about, but one that we have to keep. It seems like he might be AFK. Okay. Bubble first. So we have a Serum Visions on top. That's pretty good. We're gonna play the fetch land and not fetch. Sorry about the noise, there's apparently some ambulance driving in past my apartment. Not much I can do about that. Okay, end of turn fetch, Watery Grave. Alright. I think just play the Seachrome Coast, Serum Visions. And I think we just bottom the Disfigure because chances are not that high that it's gonna be a great card. Swordseize on the other hand is probably pretty solid. Then we just play a bubble and see what our opponent is gonna draw after he fetched. Alright, bubble him. Ah, that might have actually been too early. Okay, he scored in response. That's very nice of him to let us know what he draws. So he's gonna draw a Snapcaster Mage, and looks like we playing against Grixis control again. I was about to say or Grixis Twin, but given that he played the Tar Pit, it's very likely just another Grixis control this time. So just gonna play Sword Score. Pass is fine. And now I'm just gonna play Gurmag Angler, exiling a bunch of cards that are not that important for Tasigur. If you have multiple Delve guys, it's nice to pay as much mana on them as you can if you don't need the mana, so it's easier to cast them both. Like, leaving up Pasture is not particularly important. I'd rather just spend the mana on the Angler. Okay, that's actually not the worst draw because we can use that extra mana. Now we just Swordseize. So I think I just want to take the Remand. Yep, Remand it is, because Remand on Tasigur is annoying, and it's also fairly good on the Lingering Souls. I think I might just pay the mana here since I don't plan on pathing. So do we want the Swordseize or the Serum Visions? Given that his hand is pretty good, probably I'll leave the Swordseize in there. This game is looking pretty good again. Like, we have so much pressure and he has basically no removal. How is he ever gonna beat 2 Lingering Souls? Probably not. Especially without racing. He has 3 Snapcaster Mages, Electrolyze, and a Snare. And I think the other one was an island. Yep. That's 2 Snapcaster Mages. Okay, he found a Terminate. Good for him, but probably not good enough. I wouldn't even mind the 5th untapped land now, just to go Souls plus Flashback twice. I think Magic Online should really implement showing you in this window all the cards you saw. So basically also the cards that you see from discard spells or Detection Probe. Kind of like on Magic Workstation or Cockatrice. Like all of these softwares just let you see the hand in the state that it was when you looked at it, but don't show you information past that, like new cards drawn. I don't know why Magic Online in its 4th version still doesn't have that. Such a basic tool. Then you wouldn't need to like scribble around in like unsent chat messages. But oh well. Nothing new that Magic Online is not the most satisfying software in the world. But in case some Wizards employee sees this, they might take note of it. Yep. Electrolyze as expected. Yeah, there's the 5th land. A little late, but still probably decent with the 2nd Souls. Played the island. I think I'm probably just gonna pass that, just because if he has a bolt he might block and then bolt, and we can't prevent that. Plus he goes to 1, which blanks his Polluted Delta and makes the Lingering Souls pretty much win the game. Right, pass. Let's see what he found. A remand. I think I'll just... yeah, take a Snapcaster Mage. And get him the 1. He should be dead. I mean, I guess he gets 1 more turn. He can Snapcaster, Electrolyze, and jump if we don't draw removal, but that gives us the mana to play Souls and Flashback through his remand that he has. Oh no, right. I took the remand over Snapcaster, since he can't cast double Snapcaster. So yeah. That might have actually been an oversight. Maybe it's better to just take the Snapcaster because he can't remand anyway. Let's see if we find a win immediately. Bottom, top. Slow and steady wins the race. He found the bolt, not good enough. Is trying to find ways to not lose the game, and didn't manage. Okay, so same again, Geists, Purge, those, Planes and Dark Blast. I might actually not need the Planes. Disfigure. Pass. And a bubble. I don't expect him to have Blood Moon or board Blood Moon, and the life total is not that important since we are usually the aggressor. So I don't feel like we need the Planes that much. Plus we don't want to flood out too much. So I think 17 lands without the Planes is fine, even if we cut some cantrips. We are already basically on the running on the safe side of lands in our deck to begin with. Land's not optimal, like it lacks a cantrip to start chaining cantrips and get cards in the graveyard for Tasigur, but it has all the colors, all the lands, the souls, a creature, some cheap interaction. Basically has everything except a cantrip. Like if one of the lands would be a cantrip, then the hand would be nuts. Okay, didn't happen. But more souls, once we have 3 lands to hardcast them, is pretty good too. So the interesting question is, do I want a denial or dispel? I think I want a denial because dispel is more flexible. And he might not have a land, and even then we don't have an out to a big guy right now, so making it harder for him to cast one seems like a good plan to me. Plus it gets cards in our graveyard, so we can maybe turn 3 Tasigur. He went top, that's pretty good. I guess we play that and pass the turn. Another land, especially not fetch land, was really not what we wanted or needed. But you can't have it all, I guess. So, souls and pass the turn. Whoa, that's a beating. The one-off. I think we actually just have to pass that guy. Let's see, might be a cryptic that we can stop on denial. Yep. That's pretty sweet. Still, again, the denial, since there's barely anything we can denial that we can't dispel, and probably nothing that we want to denial but can't dispel, like mostly zero visions, I think. Now we are in pretty solid shape. Since he probably only has like one more electrolyze in his deck to reasonably well deal with our lingering souls. We still have more lingering souls to go. Guess I just play a Tazigor with backup and get in. I think I actually just want to deprive it just because it's better for our mana, then we can just go Lingering Souls with Dispel next turn. And also, if he doesn't have a Dispel, doesn't have a Spell Snare yet, we get one of the very few Spell Snare targets that we have in our deck out of the way. So it's not bad to use the 2 mana cards as soon as possible before they draw into Spell Snares. I still think the few 2 mana cards we have are too good to take out just to blank the 2 Spell Snares that they have. Plus we have enough ways to fight back on Spell Snare that it's okay. Wrecking Ball, okay. Interesting. I guess I just fetch here to thin out the deck. Play Assaults. Most likely dispel any possible target. And keep beating down. Sorry about the phone interruption. Someone just called me. Gonna put that on silent real quick, so no more disturbance. Oh yeah. Blocker step and trade. Wrecking Ball. Interesting choice. Pretty clunky for modern. So now he has a tar pit that he can start pressuring us with. We can stop something like a Cryptic or Colorgans command or Electrolyze, and have 5 tokens, so as long as we don't break hard the next couple of draw steps, we are in good shape to win the next Grixis match 2-0 like the first one. Yep. Speaking of the devil, Dispel. I really don't want to get our Lingering Souls grinded down by command Snapcaster chains. And good to know that he has no way to interact with that. Another one? No. Fatty. That's actually pretty good. So let's see what we draw. A land, and a land. That's great. Seems like we might actually end up losing that because his clock might just be too powerful and just hit us for 8 twice. I think block, we hit for 3, block again, hit for 2. I think we just have to take and see what we draw. What a beating. Let's see. Alright, that's game. Okay, game 3. Don't think I want to change anything. Okay, game 3. Okay, that hand looks good. First bubble. See what we draw. Lingering Souls. Probably not in that spot. Another bubble. That's actually pretty good. So we just Thoughtseize instead of score. Otherwise we could just score away something that we don't like. I think I might actually just take the remand because we have a out to Snapcaster and it makes whatever he flashbacks 2 mana more expensive. So I'd rather just take the remand, which cycles him, and we don't have a way to protect our big guys right now from being remanded. Okay. I think I want to main phase it to see what we get. Okay, bubble. Tap land. Pass and just see what he has. Okay, see what he draws. Third land. Hopefully the last one. We were pretty flooded so far, having like consistently 3+ lands with 17 lands in the deck. And there is the next deck. The next land, like I said. Okay. So his hand is Bolt, Snapcaster, couple of lands. Let's see, what was it? Bolt, Snapcaster, Island, Steam Vents, and an unknown. I think I actually just like Snapcaster Mage here. Into either Sword Score or Inquisition. I think Inquisition is actually nice since we get to see what he drew into. And if not, taking the Snapcaster is still pretty solid because he probably gets to cast Snapcaster Remand before we find a big guy or can Snapcaster Remand or Lingering Souls flashback. That's fine. Another Snapcaster Mage, okay. Not entirely sure how good the Dark Blast boarding is, but in theory it's nice to be able to get rid of all the Snapcaster Mages, protect Geist, and win fights with our black dive creatures against theirs. So his hand is Angler, Island, Snapcaster, Steam Vents. Okay. Gonna fetch. Swamp. Pass that guy. Okay, that was a bit suboptimal. I think that's like the spot where not being able to fetch a second white can be problematic. Maybe boarding in the plains is decent after all. Okay. Okay, so his hand is Snapcaster Mage and I think an unknown. So basically we just want to cast Soul's Flashback to draw the Snapcaster Mage out of his hand. Yep. Replay the land. And just get in. I mean, we could block with all four and Dark Blast. I think he doesn't even know the Dark Blast. I think I just want to race. There's also like too many ways for him to stop the Dark Blast there, and then we lose so many tokens. Okay, so we take 4 again to build up our clock and start jump blocking next turn. That was actually kinda bad because he could draw into a Cryptic Command. Okay, so we just give him a Sword Score. So basically we just don't want him to find a way to cryptic command us, and we should be fine. Definitely gonna block, but only with one. He has too many hand cards to go for the quadruple block plus Dark Blast. Okay. Dark Blast the Snapcaster right away. I mean, we're still okay, as long as he doesn't have another cryptic, or if we draw an out for Tessigo. Either a blocker or removal. A counter would be nice to just seal the deal, potentially. That's pretty good. That should do the trick. It should be really hard for him to win now with 3 hand cards, no board, against 6 tokens. Unless he finds his Steadycaster. Not the best draw, but also not particularly relevant. Okay. Seems like we managed it. Yep. Bolt is fine. Just don't have another. Just no bolt. Electrolyze, command, or Snapcaster Bolt we can handle. I mean, he had 3 bolts already, so it's not very likely. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, he's at GG. He doesn't have it. Cryptic would have been okay, we could have stopped it. Okay. I hope you liked the first video. Let me know in the comments what you liked and disliked and what you would like to see in the future, if there's anything you would want me to cover or do differently in the future. I mean, we didn't get the biggest diversity in matchups, but then again, Grixis Control, according to statistics, is the most played archetype in Modern on Magic Online by a reasonable amount, so that can happen. And I think the deck showed pretty nicely what it is capable of. We were flooded a lot in a lot of the games and still managed to win fairly easily in most situations. And now imagine if we run average and don't hit almost every land drop with our 17 land deck, then we are even better capable of dominating our opponents. The deck is just really, really powerful, and maybe my article and video will establish it a bit more as a major archetype, because I think the deck is just really, really well positioned and basically beats up on most of the major archetypes and a lot of the random fringe decks too. It just doesn't do very well against very creature heavy aggressive decks like Small Zoo or like Naya Company. But other than that, I'm just very happy to face most of the modern decks currently. Okay, see you next time.